Welcome to Classified Captures.
Steve here, and today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from evidence of conspiracies you've never heard of to clips of cryptids you never even knew were out there. Ready to have your mind blown? Well, let's dive right in. Without paying attention, you might be tempted to think this is just another uneventful security cam footage, but pay attention to the area around the stairs. Do you see it? There's a dark mass moving around that area. While it's visible, it doesn't look like it's tangible. This is what shocked the owner of the security system, causing him to upload it online and search for help and inputs. Many in the community who saw the clip believed it was just a shadow being. Looking at the clip, I understand why they think that, but why would a shadow creature or figure be moving on all fours? We're not exactly sure, but one thing we can be certain of is this. If that was indeed a shadow creature, then it was up to no good. If you're new here and hearing of shadow creatures for the first time, they're creatures known to silently observe, instill fear, cause sleep paralysis, or drain energy depending on which culture's rendition you're listening to. One thing all cultures that have these beings in their folklore agree on is that they're malevolent or ominous beings best avoided. Simply put, they're bad news. If what we are seeing is real and legit, then the owner of the footage really has some work to do. Not everyone agrees, though. Some believe the clip was doctored and edited just to rake in views. Well, you've watched the clip. What do you also think?
Oh,
Jesus, what? It's shoe.
oh,
Okay, is that like a
While you write out your thoughts on that, let's visit Nevada, where a young man has made a bizarre discovery.
okay, wait, don't move, right? So that's bone over there?
Connor Kelly and his friend, whose name we don't have, decided to explore the McCoy mines after they'd gone on a ride in the area. While they went through the abandoned mine, which is something you should never do, they came across what can only be described as a disturbing discovery.
Hey, Wyatt, fall back.
There were human bones and shoes lying around. Irrespective of who you are, a scene like this is bound to upset you. Given the fact that this was an abandoned mine, it somewhat made sense to find old bones and what have you in a place like that. I mean, no one goes there, and the shoes looked like they'd been there for decades. It was a frightening, yet exciting experience. That at least was the case until they came across shoes and bones that looked like they were recently brought to the place.
It's shoe.
Oh,
Okay, is that like a fossil? Dead animal or human?
okay, wait, don't move, Wyatt.
That got them thinking and wondering. Seeing fresh human remains anyway is never a good sign.
So that's bone over there? Yeah, Dad.
Not knowing who was dumping these bones there and why, they decided it was best to leave the place. If it were just old bones, we could have concluded this is something from the past. Since it's a mixture of both old and new bones, it means the individuals who started dumping the bones there had still been doing it over the years or trained someone else to keep up the tradition. This leads to one big question, or at least a couple. Who is the one dumping these bones there? Why are they dumping them? And above all, where are they getting the bones from? These are questions we'll never get answers to because Connor never posted any more videos about the mines, and it's been 3 years already since his last post. Some say the authorities got him to make him hush, whereas others say he lied about it and set up the whole thing. Now that you've seen the clip, what do you think about the whole thing?
It's shoe.
Oh,
Okay, is that like a fossil? Dead animal or human?
okay, wait, don't move, Wyatt. So that's bone over there? Yeah, Dad.
Check it out.
So this is not a little disconcerting. It's just a pile of shoes and there's some bones in there.
There's like bones.
In parts of Pakistan, especially in crowded urban areas, you might come across children with unusually small heads, often dressed in bright or unusual clothes and led around while begging. Some people call them the rat people, a nickname that's not only hurtful but also strips them of their humanity. Over time, rumors have spread about who they are and where they're coming from, but the truth is far from disturbing and rooted in exploitation, not mystery. Many of these children have a condition called microcephaly, which causes the head to be significantly smaller than normal. But in some heartbreaking cases, it isn't a natural condition at all. Reports have revealed the criminal gangs deliberately deform these children by placing extremely tight metal bands around their heads at a very young age, restricting normal skull growth.
जिनके घरों में होते हैं ना उन्होंने दिहाड़ी पे लिए होते हैं वो बच्चे तो फिर इनका हवाला दे के वो उनसे मांगते हैं
इनका उससे ताल्लुक कोई नहीं है
नहीं
नाम इस्तेमाल
कि हम उधर होते हैं हमें पैसे दें ये वो आपकी दुआ कबूल हो जाएगी ये वो ज़्यादा औरतों को
तो ये बच्चे इनको मिलते किधर से हैं ये जो ये इनके अपने ही बच्चे होते हैं या ये कहीं से उठा के
रेंट पे लेते हैं
Once their heads are misshapen, they dressed in striking clothing and sent to beg on the streets, collecting money that goes directly to their abusers. These children aren't part of some strange legend, they're victims of cruelty and poverty. Rather than turning them into objects of curiosity or gossip, we need to see them as they are, human beings in need of compassion, protection, and justice. Moving on from Pakistan, we come across this footage uploaded online by a man who allegedly lives in the desert. He was going through the desert one day when he started to hear strange sounds. They did sound like screams, but who will be out there screaming in the desert, he asked himself. He followed the screams regardless, and they led him to an abandoned old well. At that moment, he was sure the sounds were coming from the well. What he wasn't sure about, however, was what was making those sounds. All things being equal, he might have suspected that they were from children or juveniles who had fallen into the well, but he was no amateur. He knows there are jinn in the area and has narrowly escaped one in the past. Being the cautious man that he is, he recorded the encounter and posted it online, hoping someone would see and offer insights. Almost everyone who saw it told him it was a jinn responsible for the sound. Personally, not sure how to feel about this one, but what do you think? Ever since the Snowden files, it's not unpopular to meet individuals who have taped their cameras for fear of being spied on. While there's justification for covering the camera because of everything we know from the Snowden files, there is another culprit we usually ignore that may be doing far worse than our laptops ever could. This culprit is your smart TV. If your smart TV comes with an inbuilt camera and mic and is always connected to the internet, especially public ones, it's simply an open invitation to hack and spy on you. Anyone with the right skill set can do that.
See, they don't think a nigga see them, dog. You don't supposed to be able to see they head, bro. I don't know what the fuck. But you can see the nigga, see his hand moving down now? He's sitting somewhere watching the nigga, my. This what's going on the nigga TV, my. And the fucking and everything doing what you do.
The clips you are currently watching are clips that prove this is possible, and the funny thing is, it's not that hard to do. So while smart TVs sound like the biggest modern craze, I won't be jumping on the bandwagon yet. There are lots of security flaws that could be exploited as long as an individual knows what they're doing.
He's sitting somewhere watching the nigga, my. This what's going on the nigga TV, my. And the fucking and everything doing what you do. Man, he watching the nigga, bro. Real talk, man. Look at this pussy, man.
Stepping away from the trap we have created for ourselves in the name of modernity, let's take a look at a sighting of something so ancient that not many of us believe it exists anymore: the Skinwalker. The clip was uploaded by a user named Troya. I know it's dark and blurry, but if you look beyond the low-quality clip, you might just discover something that may shake your belief system. I know it's hard to see, but according to Toya, there's something in the distance. It's a humanoid creature, but it's got reflective eyes that look back at Toya and her family. For a little bit of context, Toya is recording this on her family's property, and according to her, they receive a strange visitor every evening who just stares in the direction as though they were expecting something. Having noticed the creature, they typically stay indoors around the time they expect it to appear, and it's always on time, but it never approaches their home. Instead, it just watches from a distance. Toya was initially confused as to what this thing might be, but after many visitations and a lot of personal research online, she believes it's a skinwalker stalking them. Why? She's not very sure, but it's been consistently showing up as though it were waiting for the day it will slip up to make its move. Please take a critical look at the clip and let me know if you see what Toya has been talking about.
If you're ever trying to lock or unlock your car but it's not working because it's too far away, all you have to do is hold up the key fob to your head and your brain will act as an antenna, giving you way more range than you would normally have.
So when I saw this video, I found it funny because, well, it sounded like another one of those conspiracies that could never amount to anything. I mean, how can you tell me I can extend the range of my radio devices using my head? I showed it to Julius so we could laugh at it together, but instead it ended up being the opposite. He told me this conspiracy was true. Believe it or not, holding your car key fob up to your head can actually help extend its range. This quirky trick works because your body, especially your head, is made up mostly of water, which can help transmit and slightly amplify the radio signal your key fob sends out. When you press the button while it's near your head, like under your chin or against your temple, the fluids and tissues in your body act like a passive antenna, allowing the signal to travel a bit further than it normally would on its own. It might sound like a strange life hack, but it's backed by real science. The signal used by most car key fobs is a low radio frequency range, and while your body doesn't create or power the signal, it can enhance how it moves through space. So if you're ever struggling to unlock your car from a distance, don't be surprised if using your own head as a signal booster actually does the trick. It's just your biology giving technology a little boost. So I have much to say here, but just watch this.
To announce that this Sunday will be open. Okay, we've been trying to do this announcement several times today already, and 3 times that podium back there has fallen over on its own, and it's stable. I mean, it's not wobbly at all. It's kind of like this.
In case it wasn't already obvious, we've got what looks like a priest or pastor trying to record an announcement, but keeps getting interrupted by strange things happening around him. According to him, the podium has been falling consistently ever since he tried recording the announcement when it's supposed to be sturdy. This made some believe that there was a paranormal entity playing with him there. Others were quick to point out that it might not be a paranormal entity at all, but instead that this video was staged for the sake of likes, as no pastor or priest would openly admit to this instead of sharing the intended announcement.
Another pointed out that a real priest would have prayed instead, but you've seen the clip, so what do you think?
Okay, we've been trying to do this announcement several times today already, and 3 times that podium back there has fallen over on its own, and it's stable. I mean, it's not wobbly at all. It's kind of like the...
Someone was out by the river just enjoying the quiet when they noticed something odd. At first, it looked like the water had a dark patch, almost black, but as they looked closer, they realized it wasn't the water. It was a swarm of tiny fish tightly packed together, moving in unison like one living shadow. Curious, they pulled out their camera and began recording, but then something strange happened. As soon as they zoomed in on the exact spot, the fish suddenly scattered instantly. It was as if the fish knew they were being watched, almost like they could sense the focus of the camera. One moment they were there, and the next they vanished, disappearing into the river like nothing had ever been there. It's the kind of moment that makes you wonder, was it just a coincidence, or do animals sometimes pick up on things we can't explain? Whatever it was, the timing could not have been more perfect or more eerie. A man woke up one cold morning to find that it had snowed overnight, but what started as a normal winter day quickly turned strange. As he stepped outside and brushed his feet on the snow-covered ground, flames appeared where he brushed the surface. Yeah, flames. Keep in mind that this was snow. Snow is water. It shouldn't catch fire, right? Yet there it was, fire appearing right on top of the snow as he moved across it. The video he captured quickly went viral, and people began asking the same question. How is this even possible? Some suggested that it could be a man-made snow, possibly filled with strange chemicals. Others pointed to theories of weather manipulation, suggesting that this might be a side effect of geoengineering or even some kind of artificial weather experiment. Then there's the more chilling idea. Could something be hidden in the snow itself, something flammable, whether it's chemical residue, pollution from the sky, or evidence of something we're not supposed to know about? This bizarre event has left many people questioning what's really falling from above. So what do you think? For those who don't believe in an afterlife, this story might just make you think twice. A woman had just lost her best friend, but before her friend passed away, she made a simple, touching promise to visit as a bird and tap on her window after she passed. Weeks went by, and the woman felt the emptiness even more because that visit never came. One day, she sat alone in a car looking out of the window. She softly spoke to her departed friend, reminding her of the promise they made. Just a few days later, something happened. A small mockingbird appeared at her window and tapped just like her friend said it would. But that was not the end of it. The bird kept coming back, tapping on the same window week after week. It didn't feel random, not to her. She believed that her friend had kept her promise. Do you believe that's the case here? There's been some serious advancement in innovation, especially when it comes to robot technology. Gone are the days of clunky metallic humanoids. Now we're stepping into a world where robots look nearly identical to us. Take a look at this footage. Two men are carefully attaching a silicone head and face mask onto a robot, and when they're done, the end result is both amazing and chilling. The skin texture, the lifelike eyes, and even the way the mouth moves naturally are all disturbingly human. This isn't just a cool sci-fi experiment, this is real, and it's happening fast. At the rate things are going, in just a few years, we might be walking down a street thinking we're surrounded by people when in reality, 3 out of 10 could be robots. You know how our parents always tell us to close our doors when we enter our homes? Well, this woman's situation might be a good example of why it's necessary. She had recently moved into her home and was documenting the experience. You know, the TikTok trend of putting a new apartment together while vlogging. Yeah, she was doing that. While one of the recording sessions, a man just walked into her room and it naturally scared and startled her. She tried to back off and run away, and yes, she was successful in escaping, but pay attention to the clip as she makes her way out of the room. The door opens by itself without her doing anything, and it doesn't appear to be an automatic door or anything of that sort. She initially didn't notice, but when her viewers pointed it out, she mentioned that she had also missed it due to how fast things happened. Personally, I was beginning to suspect the whole thing was staged and someone opened the door for her. That's at least until I saw what happened next. She was trying to record a cute video with her cat when she heard a slam which startled her. She checks, and there's no one there. She retreats to take her pepper spray, and that's when she notices footsteps on her bed, but there is no tangible person, almost as though a ghost was visiting. After narrating her full experience, many people find it weird that she's recording break-ins not just from humans but ghosts as well. Some have advised her to move, whereas others have mentioned that the ghosts might just be protecting her. You've seen the video, so what do you also think?
Please get out of my apartment. Please get out of my apartment.
This is a bizarre-looking photograph, right? Well, something lingers here, something unaware that time has moved on without it. They say some places never forget, some vessels carry more than just memories, and then there's this one. A silent giant docked in Long Beach, California, the Queen Mary. Once a majestic ocean liner, now whispered to be home to over 130 spirits, not stories, residents, unfinished journeys, restless echoes. Among the countless claims and eerie accounts tied to this ship, one image stands apart. No one's been able to explain it. No tricks of light, no camera glitch, just a figure captured on film as if caught in the act of forgetting it ever died. It chills me every time. A face, maybe a life, stuck, watching, waiting. Is it mourning itself or just lost? Hard to say because we can barely see its form, but what do you think? Someone walked into their bedroom and immediately felt off. That's when they noticed something by the window. It was this strange shape, like half of a shadowy figure just standing there. At first, they thought it might have been a reflection from something in the room, but something about it felt too deliberate. The figure didn't move, it just stood there, partially visible, like it was halfway in our world and halfway somewhere else. Later, they decided to run the photograph through a filter to enhance the image, and that's when things got chilling. The shape that seemed like a random blur was now clearly humanoid, with that looked like the outline of shoulders and something like a head. But the body wasn't solid, it was see-through like it was made of shadow and smoke. This was their first ever paranormal encounter, and now they're left confused. Even more unsettling is that they don't know why it was just standing there, staring out of the window, or even just watching them. Someone shared a black and white photograph online claiming it captured the aftermath of a UFO crash, and what they say is an alien body lying beside it. There's no gore or blood, just a black and white image of what appears to be a humanoid figure face up on the ground. Its limbs are long and thin, and the head looks oddly large in proportion. Exactly the kind of description we've all heard in alien encounter stories. According to the person who posted it, this was part of a highly secretive incident that the government is allegedly trying to cover up. But here's the thing. They didn't mention where or when this happened. No date, no location, just the photo. Now, if this feels familiar, it's probably because it mirrors the infamous Roswell incident where a similar alien body was said to have been recovered decades ago. In fact, the being in this photograph looks almost identical to the one described in the Roswell's reports. That's exactly why some people think this photo might have been edited or recycled from that incident. Not to say that all UFO crash stories are fake, but this one, it's raising a lot of eyebrows and even more questions. Speaking of UFOs, what do you guys make of this one? A few people were just chilling one evening when they looked up and saw this streaking across the sky. Some say it's a UFO making its grand entrance, others are convinced it's just a meteor burning through the atmosphere. Honestly, this is one of those rare clips where both arguments kind of make sense, but I'm gonna step back on this one and leave it to you. What do you think it is, UFO or meteor? Drop your thoughts below. Ever since the COVID-19 vaccine rolled out, conspiracy theories have been popping up like wildfire. From mind control claims to hidden microchips, it's become a breeding ground for some of the most bizarre and chilling theories out there. But now, there's a new one that's got people talking, and it's crazier. According to it, people who received the vaccine are now emitting a fluorescent glow. It's a soft orange hue that's become especially visible under UV light or in the dark. Witnesses say it's most noticeable around the nose and face, and that over time, the glow seems to spread across the skin. Strange, right? But it doesn't stop there. This isn't just some side effect. According to believers, they claim the glow is evidence of nanotechnology at work. These are tiny microscopic devices allegedly introduced through the vaccine. These nanobots are said to track, monitor, or even influence human behavior. It sounds like science fiction, but some insist it's terrifyingly real. And here's where it gets even more bizarre. This tech doesn't just stay in the vaccinated. It spreads through close contact or simply being near vaccinated individuals. Think of it as a digital version of viral shedding, except instead of spreading illness, it's spreading technology. There's no scientific proof that any of this is happening, but for those who believe, it's about the patterns, seeing the strange coincidences.
So, could this be true?
This massive handprint was discovered on a rock formation in China. At first, it looks like a fossilized imprint of a gigantic hand pressed deep into the stone. The fingers are long, thick, and strangely human-like, just way too big for a regular human. Seriously, if this was made by an actual hand, then whoever left it behind must have been a giant, and that's exactly what some people are saying. Theories are flying left and right, with some believing it's the mark of a giant humanoid creature, maybe even evidence of a species lost in time, one that walked the earth before history began recording it. But others aren't buying it. They say it looks more like a carving chiseled into the rock for artistic or symbolic reasons. Maybe it's part of ancient folklore or even a modern hoax. But when you look at the depth, the spread of the fingers, and how naturally it fits into the rock, it's hard not to wonder. Was this handprint really left behind by some massive creature, or is it just a clever illusion? Night walks are already terrifying, but imagine this happening to you. A man was walking home late one evening, sticking close to the side of the road, when something strange caught his attention. Up ahead, there was someone, a lone figure dressed in a hoodie, walking slowly right down the middle of the road. Curious and a little unsettled, he pulled out his phone and started recording. But what happened next was nothing he could have expected. As the hooded person continued walking, they reached a certain point, and then just like that, they vanished. Not into trees, not down a side path, they simply faded into thin air right in front of him. The man was so stunned he froze for a moment, trying to process what he'd just seen, and then he fast walked home, constantly looking over his shoulder. Whatever he saw out there, it wasn't human. At least, not anymore. What you're looking at is not just a man sitting in a chair. This isn't some romantic moment with his wife leaning in to kiss him while he holds a tarot card. No. This man is dead, and what you're seeing is his embalmed body posed upright just the way he was in life. According to reports, he was a powerful voodoo priest in Jamaica. After his passing, his wife refused to accept the idea of him laying in a coffin and burying him beneath the ground. She wanted him to remain present, still seated, still watching, still holding the card. So instead of a traditional burial, she had his body embalmed and preserved to sit in their home like this. Now, as strange and unsettling as it sounds, this isn't a completely isolated practice. Around the world, some cultures and individuals choose to embalm and keep their loved ones close after death. Sometimes as part of spiritual beliefs, sometimes as a way to cope with grief. There's a strange trend going around on TikTok right now. People are voluntarily blurring their eyes, literally making their eyeballs quiver on command. Why are they doing this? Well, no one's really sure. Maybe it's to look cool, or maybe it's just one of those weird internet things. But what is really fascinating is that only about 8% of the world can actually do it. This odd little trick is caused by something called voluntary nystagmus. It's a condition where a person can rapidly move their eyes back and forth, creating a shaky, vibrating effect, kind of like a glitch. Most people can't do it at all, but for those who can, it's like having a secret superpower. Some say it feels weird, and others say it gives them a temporary headache. But for a handful of people, it's just something they've always been able to do. No one knows exactly why only a few have this ability, but on TikTok it's become a badge of uniqueness. So the question is, can you do it, or are you one of the 92% just watching in amazement?
I can't. That made me feel dizzy.
Japan is known for its deep-rooted superstitions and ghost stories that are often too chilling to just brush off. And this next one adds to that legacy in the most unnerving way. A taxi driver in Japan was out on his usual night shift when he captured something downright creepy on his dash cam. Everything started off normally. He stopped to pick up what he thought was a passenger. You can even see him look over his shoulder as if checking to make sure they got in the car. But here's the thing. No one is seen entering the vehicle. At first, it seems like maybe it was just a misunderstanding until the car drives off and suddenly you see it. Sitting quietly in the middle of the back seat, there's a faint figure of a woman, pale, still, and staring straight ahead of the driver. What's even stranger is that the driver never reacts. It's like he has no idea she's even there. Many believe he only realized something was wrong when he reached the destination and found the backseat empty. Now, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. In Japanese folklore, there are countless tales of ghostly passengers, some even said to be spirits of people who died tragically in accidents. In one infamous case, a driver picked up a woman who appeared soaking wet, only to later discover that she had died years ago in a drowning accident. These ghosts are known in different cultures by many names, jinns, spirits, and apparitions, but they all seem to share one trait. They hitch a ride. So what do you think? Was this just a strange camera glitch, or did something paranormal really climb into that cab? What in the world is going on here? Someone recorded something truly bizarre. This small patch of the street is getting rained on. just one tiny area. The person filming pans the camera around left, right, and even up and down, but everywhere else is bone dry. Only that one little section is getting hit with raindrops. Now, because it's nighttime, we can't see if there are any rain clouds above, but it sure doesn't look like a passing shower. It's like nature just decided to target one specific spot and nowhere else. Some say it could be a freak weather phenomenon like microbursts or hyperlocalized rain, which are rare but possible. Others believe it could be something, well, not so natural. Could this be some sort of glitch in the simulation, or maybe something even paranormal? Who knows? But what do you think is going on? Before I even say anything, just watch the footage. It looks like a documentary showing how toothpaste is made from turtles. Yeah, turtles. It's wild, detailed, and honestly kind of believable. You see all the factory shots and the processing scenes, and it's presented just like any other educational film. But here's the twist, it's completely fake. The entire video was generated using AI. No turtles, no factory, just artificial intelligence putting together a super convincing fake documentary. AI is getting so advanced so fast that we're reaching a point where we might be shown a video that claims that chicken is made from babies and we would all believe it and go crazy over it. The line between real and fake is blurring more and more with each passing day. So how are we supposed to tell the truth from fiction anymore? Look at that breathtaking view. Someone had visited a mountainous region in India and stumbled upon a waterfall, but it wasn't behaving like your typical cascade. Instead of the water flowing down naturally, the strong winds in the area were so intense that they blew the falling water back up into the air. It created this stunning, almost magical illusion like the waterfall was in reverse. The mist swirled and danced in the air. Nature knows how to surprise us sometimes, doesn't it? It's one of those rare moments when you realize how powerful and unpredictable the elements can be, and how they can turn something ordinary into something absolutely unforgettable. We all know the usual weather drill. When the sky turns moody and the clouds roll in, rain's not too far behind. So it feels almost like a glitch in nature when raindrops started falling when the sun is still blazing high above. It's rare, right? Or is it? Believe it or not, this odd yet mesmerizing phenomenon happens more often than we think. A sun shower might feel like the earth is confused, unsure whether to cry or shine, but there's a science to it. It typically happens when rain clouds pass overhead while the sun breaks through gaps in the clouds from another direction. The sunlight pierces through one side of the sky while rain pours from another. But it gets interesting. People in Oregon have reported this phenomenon more frequently than in many other parts of the US. They see all the time in spring and in summer. Is magic magic, or is it all just a clever illusion? These days, we've seen countless magic tricks exposed by the camera angle, sleight of hand, and hidden wires. But now and then, someone does something so bizarre that it makes you question everything all over again. Take this man, for example. He was sitting in a quiet cafe just minding his business, or so it seemed, while a curious crowd began to gather outside the window. Something about him had people stopping in their tracks. He casually pulls out what looks like a white napkin or tissue, nothing fancy. He flattens it out slowly and then, watch closely, it lifts, not with a jerk, not with a threat. It just floats in the air. The crowd is stunned. He waves his hands around it, under it, through the air where wires might be, and there's nothing. No support, no strings, just a paper-like object levitating before their eyes. So what are we witnessing here? A truly masterful illusion or real-life magic? Stadiums are built for drama, but what if the biggest show isn't happening on the field but above it? This next sighting wasn't part of the halftime performance and wasn't on the schedule. This bizarre footage was shared from what appears to be a packed football stadium. Fans were already hyped for the game, and then something caught their eyes in the sky. Hovering just above the stadium were two glowing eyes. They weren't just random blips in the sky, they were positioned in a triangular formation, moving smoothly and eerily across the airspace above. The lights glowed with a steady brightness, not flickering like drones or planes, and as they floated silently over the stadium, you could hear people begin to panic. There's no confirmed location or date tied to this footage, but the reactions are very real. So what were those lights? Advanced military tech? A drone display gone rogue? Or are we looking at a real UFO? Most people believe. There's something haunted about abandoned buildings, something that clings to the silence, hiding in the shadows. For one explorer, what started as a casual investigation turned into a chilling encounter. He had set out to explore an old abandoned building. As he was filming each room, he came across something disturbing. In one of the rooms stood a figure. It had long hair, and it wasn't just standing still, it was swaying back and forth as if stuck in a loop or trance. The figure didn't react to the man's presence, but its unsettling motion sent chills down his spine. Unnerved, he backed away from the room, but curiosity got the better of him. Moments later, he returned to that same doorway to get another look. This time, something even more terrifying emerged. From the depths of the room, a ghostly white figure draped in what looked like old fabric or ceremonial cloth appeared and slowly moved toward him. No face could be seen, just a pale presence gliding out of the darkness. As soon as he caught sight of it, he didn't wait to find out more. The man turned and ran. But why did he even go back for a second look? Some moments are so strange, so unexplainable, that even the strongest skeptics are left speechless, and this next clip, said to be from the Philippines, is one of them. In this eerie footage, we see a man lying flat on a mattress placed on the ground. His body is tense, his face twisted in strain. Two other men are holding him down, gripping his arms and legs with everything they've got. And yet, despite their efforts, his body keeps lifting. Levitation. As unreal as it sounds, he begins to rise off the mattress again and again, as if something inside him is trying to escape. Then a third man steps forward. His demeanor is calm and deliberate. He kneels beside the levitating man and begins to speak in a low voice, almost chanting. He places his hand firmly on the man's stomach, reciting what seems to be a prayer or incantation. This is believed to be a possession, and while many may debate the authenticity, the expressions on the faces of those present tell another story. For centuries, the legend of mermaids has enchanted sailors and storytellers alike. But what if one of those tales actually came true? This chilling footage comes from a fisherman who was out at the sea in the dead of night. The ocean was calm, the sky dark, and he was alone until something unusual began to stir just beneath the surface of the water. He noticed a strange rippling, almost as if something was lurking just below, following his boat. Curious, he walked to the edge of the deck and pulled out his phone to record whatever it was. And that's when it happened. From the dark waters, a hand suddenly shot out, reaching for him. But this wasn't just any hand. It was webbed with long claw-like nails. It wasn't human, at least not at first, because in just a few seconds, that very same hand seemed to shift. The webbing pulled back, the claws retracted, and right before his eyes, it began to look human. Whatever it was had vanished back beneath the water. Could this have been a real-life mermaid? A few years ago, China made headlines across the globe with a jaw-dropping announcement. They were building an artificial sun. The news lit up the internet, but after all the hype, the world went quiet. No follow-ups, no launch date, just silence, until recently. This video began circulating online, and it's got everyone talking again. The footage was taken at night. The sky was dark and calm until suddenly a massive ball of light began to rise from the horizon. It wasn't the moon, and it definitely was not the sun. But for a few moments, it lit up the entire area as if it were broad daylight. The brightness was so intense that the whole sky glowed in a warm, eerie hue, and just as mysteriously as it appeared, it began to dim, slowly fading back into the darkness. People watching were stunned. Many claimed that this was the long-rumored artificial sun finally being tested. But there were no major news reports, no government announcements, no official word, just theories and speculation. Some believe it wasn't an artificial sun at all, but rather a disguised missile rocket launch. Others insist this was a soft reveal of a tech experiment far more powerful than we're being told. So what exactly did people witness that night? Would you release a dinosaur into the wild if you had one? Well, my answer will most likely be no, but this dude is no ordinary person. We don't know how, but he appears to be in possession of a pet dinosaur. If you were to ask me the oddest thing a person could keep as a pet, a dinosaur would be the last thing on my mind. Not because it's not odd, but, well, because it's the last thing you would expect anyone to keep. Also, they're extinct, which makes this piece of footage even more surprising. How do you think he got himself a dinosaur? Do you sometimes feel that the universe we live in is not real? Does it sometimes feel like we're all living in a computer simulation like the Matrix? If you've experienced these feelings and thoughts, you aren't the only one. Thousands have felt this way, and our next clip is one of the reasons people believe it. The footage shows what appears to be a tree floating from the forest towards a town. Initially, people thought it was an edited video, but upon closer examination, the shadow of the tree on the ground indicates that it was a real occurrence. This raises the question of how a tree can float like that. Was it a mistake, or was it something supernatural like a possessed tree? There is still a lot of speculation about what could have caused this phenomenon. Some people suggest it might have been caused by a strong wind or a freak accident, while others propose that it could be a supernatural occurrence. Whatever the case may be, this incident has left many people scratching their heads, wondering if there is more to our world than meets the eye. This next footage is said to have been taken as far back as 1987 near a volcano. The clip was allegedly taken because of the strange creature you see in it. But what exactly is that creature? It looks like some sort of huge spider-like monster. Its lower body was made of many legs that looked like roots, but its upper body looked eerily human. You could see its head and shoulders. However, this creature moved in such an automated way it looked so out of place and unreal. Most of the members of the paranormal groups where it was shared called it fake. You've seen it for yourself. What do you think? Take a moment to examine this intriguing footage.
Oh, whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
I mean, this looks like a UFO.
What we have here is a video of a strange craft that was captured in the night sky. This craft is quite unusual as it has 3 lights arranged in a triangular shape. It was seen simply floating in the air without any apparent propulsion or movement. But how did this craft get there? It all started with a glowing orb. The orb descended from the sky and remained stationary in the same spot. Then 2 more orbs appeared beneath it. This, my friends, is how the craft was formed. Could this be a UFO? It's certainly possible. The shape and behavior of the craft are unlike anything we've seen before. But then again, what do you think?
Oh, whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
I mean, this looks like a UFO.
No, but it's like, well, yeah, I guess.
An intriguing event was captured on camera by an unknown person. From the footage, we see a strange light suddenly appear in the clouds, and just as quickly as it appeared, it disappears. Upon closer inspection, the light seemed to be emanating from a craft of some kind, which was not visible to the naked eye. The light appeared to be hovering in the sky and then vanished in the blink of an eye, leaving many to wonder if it could be a case of a cloaked UFO. The incident has sparked a great deal of discussion and debate among those who believe in extraterrestrial life and UFO sightings. What's your take on the clip? During a horseback ride in the woods, a group of men came across a mysterious creature. The creature was small in size, but it had dark fur and a long furry tail. As they approached, the creature hid behind a leafy plant, making it difficult to see its features. Suddenly, without warning, the creature leapt out from behind the plant and attacked one of the men on the horses. Observers speculated that it could be an anteater, given its long snout. However, we couldn't be sure, as the creature's appearance was unlike anything they had seen before. What say you guys? As technology advances, scientists and tech experts are constantly pushing the limits of what is possible. They're always searching for new ways to innovate and create positive change. Recently, a group of scientists in Denmark came up with an exciting new idea, making glow-in-the-dark trees, also known as bioluminescent trees. The idea behind these trees is to replace traditional street lights with them. This would not only reduce the cost of maintaining faulty lights, but also help lower greenhouse gas emissions from the use of fossil fuels to power lights in the evenings. Bioluminescent trees could potentially make the world a more beautiful and magical place, transforming the nighttime landscape into a glowing wonderland. However, not everyone is pleased with this idea. Some are concerned that the genetic modification of these trees could have negative effects on the environment and human life. After all, we rely on plants for oxygen, and any changes made to their genetic structure could have unforeseen consequences. While bioluminescent trees could be a significant step forward in terms of sustainability and beauty, it's important to consider the potential risks and weigh them against the potential benefits. What do you think? Could this be a groundbreaking innovation or a potential threat to human life and the environment? This is certainly an intriguing sight to behold. This appears to be a blob-like structure with distinct human-like features such as eyes, nose, and mouth. Once it was uploaded, it started attracting a lot of attention. What's even more fascinating is that one of the eyes seems to be moving, making it look alive. Some believe that this could be a human-made creation, possibly an experiment using cutting-edge technology. Others speculate that it might be a natural and undiscovered creature. Additionally, there's a chance it could be digitally manipulated using today's advanced CGI technology. However, without more information, it's impossible to say for sure what this curious phenomenon could be. Before I ask for your thoughts, take a look at this comment underneath the original post. Now, tell me, what are your thoughts on this? This next incident has unlocked a new fear in me. It involves a snake that was found in a toilet, and it's unclear how the snake managed to get there. Some speculate that the snake may have climbed into the toilet, while others believe it may have come up through the drains. Unfortunately, the exact cause of the snake appearance remains unknown. When the homeowner discovered the snake, they immediately called for help. A group of uniformed men arrived at the scene and attempted to remove the snake. However, the reptile seemed to be stuck, and the men were unable to extract it from the toilet bowl. As a result, they had to remove the entire toilet before they could finally remove the snake. Oh, the thought of a snake appearing in such an unexpected place is enough to make anyone double-check before using the toilet. Have you ever had such an experience? Share it with us in the comments section. In recent times, there has been a rather peculiar phenomenon observed in the sky. Witnesses have reported sightings of a bright ball of light appearing out of nowhere, followed by a strange stroke of light emanating from it. The stroke of light seems to be highly intense, almost as if it is being projected towards a specific location. In one instance, the stroke of light was observed descending towards the Earth's surface. The nature of this phenomenon is still unknown and has left many people wondering if it is a natural occurrence or if there is something more sinister at play. Scientists and experts have yet to come up with a definitive explanation for this mysterious occurrence. Some have suggested that it could be a result of atmospheric conditions, while others believe that it could be related to extraterrestrial activity. What do you think this could be? Usually when you hear of haunted houses, it's of people moving into a house that's already haunted, or perhaps an incident that could have caused the haunting. But I stumbled upon this strange footage.
This is a video my friend sent me.
Move the crisp. Whoa! Whoa!
You'll have seen me tag him. His name's King Smithy.
This man, however, has been living in his apartment for 10 years with no issues whatsoever till now. Without intending to, he captured this eerie experience on camera.
Pushing it, it like indents the packet. No, that's just freaky, man.
Hello?
He was in the living room going about his normal day when he noticed a pack of chips moving on its own on the ground. There was no one else in the house with him at the moment, and there was no windy situation either. So how is this bag of chips moving on the floor? It's like an unknown force, but how is this possible? A commenter was rather skeptical and believed that this was just an orchestrated hoax. Others believe this is a ghost, others also say it's a demon. A particular commenter said this: could be an entity that just shows up because someone in the area opened a portal. What do you think? Is there some credibility to this story, or is it nothing more than an attempt for his 5 minutes of fame?
This is a video my friend sent me.
Move the crisp. Whoa! Whoa!
You'll have seen me tag him. His name's King Smithy.
Now, look at that. A huge serpent at the mouth of a woodland. It's grey with a pink fin-like thing on its head. Quite the intimidating sight, wouldn't you agree? But when you take a closer look, this creature has got that oddly whimsical look to it, almost like it's been plucked straight out of a cartoon. quite unreal, don't you think? This has led many to conclude the whole thing is fake and the audio in the background is just there to create the impression that it's real. I'm not buying it though, but maybe that's just me. What do you think? Take a look at this picture. A man captured his foot in the prints made by a creature. Guess what creature it is? While Sasquatch is known for its large footprints, the track captured in this picture appears to be even bigger than that. It appears to have been made by a Kodiak bear, one of the largest species of bear in the world. Kodiak bears are native to Alaska and are known for their enormous size, which can range from 800 to 1,500 pounds and can stand over 10 feet tall when on their hind legs. Their footprints are among the largest of all land animals, measuring up to 14 inches in length and 8 inches in width. So it's no surprise that the track captured in this picture is truly impressive and likely made by a Kodiak bear. I know you're waiting for the next clip, but my new friend Bigfoot asked me to ask you if you've liked and subscribed yet. If you haven't, please do so now, or I'll send him after you. A cat with wings. It's so fascinating and strange at the same time. The cat has grown a pair of what appear to be wings on its sides. The wings were small in size with a furry texture that perfectly matched the fur on the cat's body. It was as if the wings were a natural part of the cat's anatomy. But since when do cats have wings? I wonder if some kind of genetic modification might be at play here. It's possible that the cat's DNA was altered through some kind of experimental breeding or gene therapy. Skeptics doubt that the wings on the cat are real and believe that they're just accessories that have been attached to the cat. They speculate that the wings have been customized to match the cat's fur because they fit so perfectly. But what do you think this is? A mutant cat or a cat in a costume? Do you believe demons exist? No? Then how do you explain this? The screams you hear are from the devices of an explorer that crashed into a water body. He'd gone out to explore the great outdoors and document the adventures when he suddenly lost control of his drone and it crashed into the waters. Try as he may, he couldn't get it out and gave up. Upon returning home, he checked the last recorded footage on the cloud, and surely enough, it was the last moments of his devices. He doesn't believe what he heard were the sounds of his devices. No, they sounded hellish and demonic to him. He then uploaded it online and some sided with him, saying that they'd experienced the same thing before. The majority, however, told him the sounds, although sounding like screams, are definitely coming from his drone being in the water. When you think about it, that sounds very logical, but maybe, just maybe, that's what the demons want us to think. What are your thoughts, though? For some time now, a ranch owner has been hearing strange noises on his property, which left him feeling unsettled. As a result, he decided to investigate and set up a camera to capture any activity that might be causing the noises. He initially thought it could be coyotes, but what he found on reviewing the footage was quite unexpected. To his surprise, the footage showed a strange-looking creature that seemed emaciated, with a very thin neck. The creature was peering inside the room through the window, and its appearance was quite unsettling. Naturally, he was perplexed and posted the footage on our Paranormal platform. Some thought it had to be aliens, while many thought it was nothing more than an attempt for 5 or 10 minutes of fame. Critically look at the clip again and share what you think. While exploring the waters, someone stumbled upon these two intriguing fish. They were pitch black and had a peculiar growth on their head that resembled a brain. Wondering what this fish could be? Well, these little guys are called the black Aranda goldfish, and the brain-like growth on their head is called a fleshy wen, which is a characteristic feature of this fish species. These magnificent beings are a highly sought-after variety of goldfish that have a distinct charm due to their black coloration and unique head growth. The black Aranda goldfish is renowned for its gentle and peaceful nature and has become a beloved pet of many aquarium enthusiasts. On second thought, I think this is slightly different from the black Aranda goldfish. Have any of you owned or seen one? What do you think? Remember my talk about living in a simulation with glitches? Well, here's another. The clip starts off like your everyday not-so-extraordinary clip. A few seconds in, and it becomes apparent that things just don't add up. First off, not all the animals have shadows, and as the pups are playing, one runs into another one of the pups and just disappears on impact. It's almost as though it was being absorbed, which should not be possible. I'm not a science genius, but I'm pretty sure that's not how physics works. Anyways, what's your take on this? Please share your thoughts in the comments section.
Shit, they got every year make and model on this bitch. Motherfucker done burnt out.
This footage was captured in San Francisco, where there had been a noticeable increase in thefts in the Bay Area recently. To ensure the safety of their possessions, people have been taking various measures to secure them, and this car owner has taken a rather innovative and extreme approach. The owner of this car has gone to great lengths to protect their vehicle by welding several security cameras onto it. The cameras are strategically placed all around the car to ensure complete coverage and to provide the owner with a 360-degree view of the surroundings. It's a whimsical approach, to be sure, but you can't deny the ingenuity behind it. With those cameras mounted all around, it's safe to say that anyone thinking of getting too close to this car will think twice, unless, of course, they had their whole body covered and they ripped the cameras off for some extra profit. It sounds funny, but I can see that happening.
Shit, they got every year make and model on this bitch. Motherfucker done burnt out.
In this next footage, someone shared security footage online. In the footage, there is a ghostly figure walking through a room and then disappearing in a thin air. It's a very eerie sight to behold. Just imagine seeing something like this on your own camera. A commenter on the video suggested that this might be a cloaking device, which is quite an unusual explanation. Typically, most people would assume that the figure in the footage is a ghost or some other paranormal entity. But a cloaking device? Oh, that's something. Given our recent advancements in technology, that's not too wild a thought, but what do you think? A potential ghost or a test run for a cloaking device? Share your thoughts. While sitting at the edge of a swamp, an observer noticed a peculiar creature emerging from beneath the surface. At first, the creature was difficult to make out, but as the observer zoomed in, they could see that it had two long fangs protruding out of its mouth, making it look like the sharp teeth of a saber-toothed tiger. The creature swam with ease, effortlessly moving through the water and making hardly a sound. Its face had a menacing look that could give you nightmares for years. What kind of creature could this be?
What the hell?
Just as we got the pride blanket out.
that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
It's for pride.
In this intriguing footage, a group of people captured a fascinating patch of clouds in the sky. The clouds were colorful and rainbow-hued, which made for a striking sight. It was a unique and beautiful phenomenon that left many people in awe. The cause of this phenomenon, however, remains a mystery, and naturally, there have been several theories trying to point out and explain what may have caused it. Some speculation that the rainbow-colored clouds could be a result of chemical pollutants in the sky, which could reflect the light uniquely. Other experts suggest that this could be a natural occurrence caused by the refraction of sunlight through ice crystals in the clouds. Regardless of the cause, this rainbow-colored cloud formation in the sky is an impressive sight to behold. Wouldn't you agree?
That is amazing.
The gays are jumping out.
While walking on the field, a farmer was taken aback by a strange sight and started recording. Some of the haystacks on the field suddenly flew off the ground and fell back down at random intervals. The farmer, puzzled by this bizarre behavior, tried to find a logical explanation for it. At first he thought it might be the wind, but when you look closely at the footage, you'll notice that there is no sign of wind blowing at all. Also, the bundles of hay that were flying off the ground were not necessarily the ones that were closest to each other, which made the situation even more peculiar. Some people speculated that it could be due to demon possession or ghost activity because there seems to be no logical explanation for the phenomenon. What do you think, though? Could this be an actual real-life capture of ghost activity, or could this man and his group of friends be playing a fast one on us? Please share your thoughts. One of our subscribers recently shared an intriguing image with us. The picture shows a mysterious creature that was spotted on the shores of a water body. Take a look. The creature in question has a rather peculiar head with two eyes, a slightly open mouth, and tiny razor-sharp teeth. Its physical characteristics differ significantly from those of regular fish, as it has two arms extended with four claws. The creature's appearance has puzzled many, leading to various speculations. Some people suggest that this creature could be a Nephilim, an angelic being mentioned in ancient texts. Others believe that it could be a baby mermaid, a mythical creature that has been the subject of folklore for centuries. And then there's the possibility of extraterrestrial origins, with some speculating that it could be an alien life form exploring our earthly waters. While this idea may seem far-fetched to some, the vastness of the universe and the mysteries it holds leaves room for such speculation and imagination. That big question now is, which of these is the most accurate? I guess we'll never know, unless of course it comes out that this was all an elaborate hoax to mislead the masses. While on a plane, someone filmed the sun setting. Take a good look at it and you'll realize it's not at all very normal. To start with, the sun was pink, which is a sight to behold. It's quite common for the sun to appear pink or even red during a sunset. This happens because the Earth's atmosphere acts as a filter, scattering the blue and green wavelengths of light and allowing the longer wavelengths like red and pink to pass through more easily. The colors you see during sunset can vary depending on the location, weather, and time of year. For example, if there are a lot of pollutants or dust particles in the air, the sun may appear more orange or even brown. And during the winter months, the sun can appear more pink or purple as the angle of the Earth's tilt changes and affects the way the sun's light passes through the atmosphere. While the color is an interesting one, you must agree that the sun sets in a rather unconventional way. It's almost as though it's disappearing into the Earth. What do you guys make of that? Take a look at this video and share your thoughts on what you see. The footage shows an intriguing sight that has sparked a lot of debate. At first glance, it appears to be something wriggling on the surface of the water, but upon closer examination, it becomes clear that this mysterious object has wings that are flapping as it hovers just above the water before taking off to perch on a nearby tree. The object in question is white and long, and it's unclear what it could be. Some people believe it's a small bird that's gotten tangled up in plastic, while others suggest it might be a rubber worm. However, the fact that it can fly seems to rule out the latter option. Another theory is that the object is a bird that has just captured something from the water. It's fascinating to see how people are interpreting this video in different ways. What are your thoughts on what this object could be? You might want to brace yourself for this next one because not everyone can stomach it. If you can't handle lots of insects, move ahead by a few seconds so you can miss this clip completely. Now, I don't know what this is. There are people all gathered around a peculiar sight, a pile of food laid out before a statue, while insects buzz about in a chaotic frenzy. Now, at first glance, it might seem like a scene from a surreal dream or perhaps a feverish nightmare. But as you watch, you notice something curious. The people in the room don't seem the least bit bothered by the buzzing insects or the seemingly odd display before them. So what in the world is going on here? Some might be quick to jump to conclusions, speculating that this is some form of worship or ritual, with the food being offered as a sacred offering to the statue. After all, stranger things have happened in the name of faith, right? But then again, it's also possible that there's a more practical explanation at play here. Perhaps these folks are simply unfazed by the presence of insects, either due to familiarity or some other reason. Or maybe there's a cultural aspect to this scene that we're not privy to, where the coexistence of humans, insects, and offerings is perfectly normal. Do mermaids really exist? Millions before us have debated and tried to find an answer to this question. Even Christopher Columbus was not exempted as he documented encounters with what is believed to be mermaids. Recently, someone recorded this footage of what appears to be a mermaid in the sea. Although the creature was far away, its features are still clearly visible. It had the lower body of a fish and the upper body of a human. While this may have been exciting some years ago, given the current state of AI and deepfakes, we have to ask, do you think this is real? Share your thoughts in the comments section. The deep sea is one of the most unexplored and mysterious places on Earth. Recently, a deep-sea camera captured footage of a black, gooey creature at a depth of 6,000 feet. The footage has left scientists and oceanographers puzzled as they're unable to identify the creature and properly understand its characteristics. The creature appears to be a black, gooey blob with no discernible features or appendages. Some speculate that it could be a type of deep-sea jellyfish or a new species altogether. However, without more information, it's difficult to draw any conclusions. One of the main concerns about this creature is whether it poses any danger to humans or other sea creatures, since there is not much information on it. Have you seen anything like this? Care to share your experience? Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like someone or something is watching you? It's a very unsettling feeling that can leave you feeling uneasy and uncomfortable. Now, imagine looking through a broken wall and finding a pair of eyes staring directly at you. The sense of unease and discomfort would be amplified even further. Someone found this eye looking back at them through a wall. It's difficult to determine what kind of creature could be behind this eye. Is it a normal animal or a cryptid that is yet to be discovered? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you think that was weird, take a look at this creature someone found washed ashore on a beach. It looks wet and it's hard to tell if it's hairy. It had these strange-looking lines that looked like they were opening on its body with hairs sticking out of it. Now here's where it gets spooky. You watch kind of fascinated and freaked out as the whole creature seems to be moving, not just from the waves, but like it's alive and breathing right there on the beach. So what is this thing? Is it a new sea creature nobody's seen before, washed up on the shore by chance? Or maybe it's something even crazier like an alien from a sci-fi movie? Share your thoughts. Everyone loves their aerial drone clips, but sometimes if you are very attentive, you'll see what others have missed. The next clip is no exception. This was supposed to be ordinary footage of a mountain, but someone slowed the clip and noticed something rather odd. A glitch appeared for a moment and then disappeared, leaving behind an oddly shaped craft that lasted for only a second. Could this enigmatic glitch be evidence of a UFO with a cloaking device momentarily revealing itself before retreating into the shadows? I'd like to think that's a tantalizing possibility given the long history of sightings and encounters with unidentified flying objects. Either that or someone's playing the editing game with us and passing it off as the real thing. Without more information, it's tough to say for certain. Perhaps it's merely a trick of the light or a glitch in the footage itself, rather than a visitation from beings beyond our understanding. What's your take? Let us know in the comments section. There has been a recent sighting of a perplexing entity in the sky. According to eyewitnesses, the entity initially appeared as a tiny dot in the sky. After a closer examination of the recorded footage, they realized it transformed into an unusual and intriguing shape. The shape of this entity sparked discussions among various groups, with some speculating that it could be an angel. This speculation is based on the descriptions of angels in the Bible, which some thought had a similar appearance to this entity. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this claim, and the true nature of the entity remains a mystery. What do you think of it? This fascinating video has been circulating online, showcasing a peculiar object floating in the sky. The object, which is unlike anything seen before, has sparked a great deal of curiosity among viewers. Some people believe that it could be an interdimensional entity visiting our world, while others argue that it's simply a piece of debris floating in the sky. The video has prompted a lot of debate, with people from all over the world trying to decipher what the object could be. It's a mystery that is yet to be solved, and the possibilities are endless. What are your thoughts on this matter? An individual has recently captured a very peculiar and intriguing creature that bears a resemblance to a plant, though its classification is uncertain. The creature appears to have taken on the shape of a star, with multiple tentacles extending from its central body. These tentacles are unlike any seen before, as they've root-like structures attached to them. At one center of the creature, there's a small hole that appears to be used for the creature's feeding or breathing. We're not so sure. The creature takes turns sticking the root-like tentacles into this hole. What could this be? Is it feeding, or what? Well, no one we know has the answers, and our paranormal communities are speechless, which doesn't happen very often. My hypothesis is that it's an unknown and undiscovered species, or a CGI creation meant to give the uploaders their 5 minutes of fame. But what do you think? Alligators are dangerous creatures, yet some people don't seem cautious around them. Recently, a clip went viral showing a woman swimming underwater with an alligator floating right above her. Naturally, and fortunately, the alligator had its eyes above the water. What's truly astonishing is the woman's seemingly fearless demeanor as she swims right beneath the alligator, unfazed by its presence. And the reptile? Well, it appears rather indifferent, making no move to harm her, even as she boldly touches its belly. Now, one commenter suggests the alligators may not be as dangerous underwater as they are on land, but I'd err on the side of caution. Swimming alongside a flesh-eating predator like that, oh no thank you, count me out. What about you? Would you dare to take the plunge into those murky waters with a potentially deadly neighbor lurking nearby? While peering through a clear glass window, a woman noticed something peculiar in the water. She decided to get a closer look and zoomed in with a camera. To her surprise, a group of men were sitting on a table seemingly in the middle of the sea.
Представляете, люди готовятся на ифтар под водой.
The sight is baffling. How could such a thing be possible? Some people have suggested that it might be a reflection from the room on the glass window, but this raises more questions than it answers. How could a reflection in a room create such a convincing illusion of men sitting on a table in the sea? Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so lets you stay updated and allows us to create more videos for you. Thanks for doing so. Now, let's continue with the day's episode. Have you ever come across a rather large bird that appears to be tied up after being prepared? If your answer was no, you might wonder what this is and why it's being prepared in such a way. Upon closer inspection, it looks as though the bird is being drained of blood before being cooked. The size of the bird is quite remarkable, as it's much larger than a typical turkey. Some people speculate that it might be an ostrich due to its size and appearance, but it's difficult to say for sure. Others think it's some goat-bird hybrid, but that doesn't add up. An ostrich sounds more believable at this point. But I'll let you guys decide on this one. What do you think this mysterious bird could be? Believe me when I say the next one is as disturbing as it is strange. That's definitely a strange-looking creature lying down on the table. It has this grotesque-looking face and body features that don't match any known creature on the planet. The question on everyone's mind is, what is this? Naturally, the comments section of the original post was buzzing with opinions and theories. One comment that caught our attention among the thousands under the post was this: if mermaids exist, this is a more accurate description of what they would probably look like. It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? Perhaps this creature isn't an alien after all, but rather a fantastic creature of the sea, lurking in the depths beyond our understanding. Either that or we've got another hoax on our hands. Back on October the 15th, 1996, this alien body was allegedly retrieved and thoroughly examined. The footage is not very clear, so it's hard to see, but you can tell that the creature lying down is not human. It has a small, oddly shaped head and a small mouth. The eyes are closed, but one appears to be slightly open. Now, people may mention this was a legit alien sighting from one Dr. Jonathan Reed. So I did a little digging and found this. This footage was indeed from Dr. Jonathan Reed, who said the alien attacked his dog and shot his dog with a vaporizer. Reed said he took a tree branch and knocked the creature out, resulting in this footage we see. Initially, the media seized upon the story, but over time skepticism grew, and Reed's claims were ultimately debunked and dismissed as a hoax. Knowing what we know now and the possibility of extraterrestrial life out there, do you think it's a hoax or that it's real? You know the movie Alien vs. Predator, right? And how the predators look, those terrifying armored creatures with their elongated heads and razor-sharp mandibles. Well, take a look at this insect a man found in his garden and tell me it doesn't look just like them. It's a black insect with an unusually long head. At one point, it even opened its mouth to reveal what seemed like razor-sharp teeth on its lower jaw. It's absolutely bizarre. The person who found it tried searching for what this creature could be, but found no match. Oh, I don't know about you, but this thing looks a lot like some kind of predator or alien creature to me. Some are saying it might be a mutated praying mantis, but no known mantis looks this terrifying. Could it be that this insect is something we've never seen before? Or did someone just make this with AI to mislead us all? Share your thoughts. Here's another mysterious capture from a trail camera. The owner set it up hoping to capture some wildlife, but when he reviewed the footage, he was in for a shock. Instead of animals, an illuminated figure appeared right in front of the camera. This being glowed intensely, its features completely obscured, leaving only a distinct, ghostly silhouette behind. The camera was set to night vision, yet it struggled to capture anything but this blazing outline. What could we be dealing with here? An interdimensional being, or perhaps a bioluminescent alien? Share your thoughts. There is a widely accepted belief among various cultures in the scientific community that civilizations existed before our time. Over the years, evidence of such past civilizations have been found in the form of various artifacts.
This one really isn't my story, but we'll talk about it briefly. Anybody in here know what that is? Okay, so we got at least one person in here that knows what it is. Let me show you another picture, close-up of it.
Recently, a cave explorer made a fascinating discovery in a private cave located in Manti, Utah. The explorer came across two rocks in the cave, one of which was glowing. The other rock, which was found to be an unusual stone, resembled an ostrich egg but was made of rock. The explorer didn't touch the glowing rock but took flakes from the strange stone for testing. Upon testing, several things were found in the stone, including human blood that dates back as far as 3000 BC. This enigmatic artifact raises many questions. Could it be a relic of a bygone era lost to the annals of time? You tell me.
I can't tell you those kind of things on any of this stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know who owns it. I know who had access to it when I saw it, but I can't even give you that information. That's not for me to give.
Intrigued by this discovery, I went digging around and discovered even more news on golem-looking creatures. This sighting was also captured in the valleys of Beijing. Unlike the first one, this one had huge ears and moved rather quickly. On second thought, I think the first one is also capable of moving quickly. The difference is in the shyness, at least those are my thoughts. This was allegedly captured by a tourist who was exploring the valleys of Huairu, located north of Chinese capital. According to the tourist, he was taking a short break when he noticed the creature suddenly appear. The sighting has caused quite a stir among locals in the tourist community. Personally, it's stirring up thoughts within me as well. Why are there golem-like creatures appearing in China? Is there something in China we're not aware of? Is the golem-like creature to the Chinese what Bigfoot is to the Americans? So many questions. Either way, what do you think about sightings? Some workers were out on the field late one night when they noticed something unusual floating by in the night sky. It was a glowing figure, faint yet unmistakable. According to the workers, this figure was the spirit of one of their colleagues who tragically passed away in a work accident. When paranormal experts reviewed the footage, they determined that the figure had an ectoplasmic quality to it, a substance often associated with spirit manifestations. You've seen the clip. What's your analysis as well? A group of hikers decided to walk deep within the woods, pushing further than they'd ever gone before. After a long trek, they stopped to catch their breath. As they took in the scenery, one of them noticed that something didn't look right. Among the dense thicket of bushes, a strange, hazy area stood out. It was a spot where everything seemed to blur. It was almost like something or someone was standing there completely cloaked but still affecting the view around it. They squinted, trying to make sense of the strange sight, but the distortion seemed oddly deliberate, almost intentional. Some say it could have been a cloaked creature, something beyond our understanding. Others suggest it might have been a person using an advanced cloaking system, possibly military-grade or experimental tech. With today's rapid advancements in stealth technology, the idea isn't as far-fetched as it once would have seemed. So what exactly were these hikers seeing? This looks like some sort of apocalypse. In the footage is the moon looming ominously closer to Earth. Now, before you start stocking up on canned goods and building your underground bunker, it's important to exercise a healthy dose of skepticism. I don't know about you, but it all seems a bit too, fake. It seems more like a movie than real life, and the quality of the video is kinda questionable too. While it will be disappointing if this is edited, it wouldn't be so surprising. After all, the internet is chock full of doctored footage and elaborate hoaxes designed to dupe unsuspecting viewers. The last thing I want, is to mislead you guys. But then again, maybe I'm being too much of a skeptic. What do you guys think? Now, this lady is holding a small rock in her hand. The rock has this intricate design on it. According to the story, she said she saw the rock fall from the sky and that it even felt hot to the touch. Some think it's a piece of a meteorite formed in space and hurled toward Earth through the atmosphere. If that were true, it would make this rock an incredibly rare and fascinating object, as it would contain clues about the early formation of our solar system and the wider universe. Others, however, speculate that the rock may be something more extraordinary. They suggest that it could be a fragment of a celestial object originating from a distant planet or even another galaxy. If this is the case, the rock could hold secrets about the origins of life elsewhere in the universe and provide crucial evidence for scientists seeking to understand the mysteries of deep space. While I pondered what the possibilities could be, I noticed something about the woman's fingers, and surely enough, other members of my team did too. We checked the comments section, and someone had too. Can you see it? No? Editor, let's bring up the comment right now. You see it now, don't you? Her fingernails have dark dirt in them that looks to be similar color as the rock. It's made everyone who noticed it think she created the rock herself and passed it off as being extraterrestrial. What do you think? This video was filmed at Tumati Beach on the Paraguana Peninsula in Venezuela, capturing something truly unusual. A strange light was spotted on the horizon over the ocean in the dead of night. It started as a vivid blue light, then shifted to red, before gradually dimming and finally vanishing into the darkness. This wasn't like any fireworks display, it was far more mysterious. The light had the distinct shape of an orb, and you can clearly see its glow reflecting brightly in the sky on the surfaces of the water. What makes this sighting even more intriguing is how it behaved, changing colors and then disappearing without a trace. It wasn't a flare or any typical marine signal, it was something else, something harder to explain. Could this be evidence of extraterrestrial activity? These two images were taken by a man who was out hunting in the woods. He stumbled upon an abandoned shack deep in the forest, and what he captured near the shack was truly unsettling. Standing on two legs was a creature, but the face was hard to make out because it was in motion when the photo was taken. However, the lower part of the creature is a bit more visible, enough to spark some serious debate. Now, there's a conspiracy theory floating around about dog-like creatures being used as soldiers or possibly being artificially created. As usual, Aaron is convinced that this is one of those creatures, while Julius dismisses it as a hoax. What do you think, though? Could this be evidence of a secret experiment, or is it just another case of misidentification or digital trickery?
How you doing?
Not good.
What's going on?
Okay, Jeremiah, come out here.
According to a recent TikTok video posted by a user named Divine Pisces 444, she is convinced that a portal opened in front of her house for extraterrestrial beings. The user has shared multiple clips showing what she believes to be aliens visiting her home. Take a listen.
In 2021, and it's just been non-stop. 3 houses they arrived to. Ours was the first house, couple houses down, and then further down the road because we heard the doorbell ring. I don't have a doorbell. It was some type of signal they gave that they were there. You understand what I'm saying? This is my security camera, you guys, picking this shit up.
In the videos, she can be heard describing the strange and unexplainable occurrences happening in her house.
You watch my videos and you go, I don't see anything, because you don't know what they look like. They have come in so many shapes, sizes, forms, colors. Actual creatures have come in my house. Some stood as short as 2 feet, some as tall as 9 feet.
Her voice sounds shaken, and the fear and anxiety are quite evident in her tone. The video has sparked a wave of discussion and speculation on social media, with many people sharing their theories about the possible existence of aliens. What do you think of her encounter? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section.
The people that was up on that ship, they were like doing something at that tree, and when they wanted to communicate with me, that whole front of that tree, it would turn into their face, and they would talk to me telepathically.
Speaking of bizarre occurrences, someone allegedly captured this next clip at an unknown location. Enjoy. In the clip, we're introduced to this huge and strange object falling from the sky. The object is almost transparent, and there's people also gathering around to see it. The question on everyone's mind was, what is this? Some people mentioned that it was a weather balloon falling to the ground. Weather balloons are commonly used for atmospheric research and data collection, and it's not uncommon for them to be mistaken for unidentified objects when spotted from a distance. Another mentioned that this was a government project of deception, specifically the blue beam projection. While I can understand the weather balloon bit, I have questions about the blue beam projection. Of all the clips, why would the government share this, assuming we believe the blue beam projection theory? It doesn't add up, does it? Anyway, what do you personally think about the whole thing? Remember when we talked about the potential for scientists to record our dreams like movies? Well, it turns out there's more to that story than we might have imagined. A neurological tech company called REM Space has developed technology that could allow 2 people to communicate directly within their dreams. Here's how it supposedly works. Using specialized equipment, REM Space can induce lucid dreaming in both individuals, meaning that each person will be fully aware they're dreaming and, incredibly, have control over their actions within the dream. Then they connect via earbuds designed to transmit thoughts and communications from one dreamer to the other. The technology, still in experimental stages, aims to enable seamless conversation and interaction in a shared dream state. Would you give it a try? The Loch Ness Monster has been a creature of legend for years, with countless sightings reported over time, though we still aren't sure if it's all a hoax or if there's some truth to it. Recently, a man in Scotland sent his drone out over a body of water and captured what he believes could be the elusive Loch Ness Monster. In the footage, a massive wave appears on the water's surface, and right at the edge of the wave, you can spot a small head briefly rising before disappearing back into the depths. While this new footage adds to the growing number of sightings, I still can't help but ask, was this Nessie, or is it just another hoax? What do you see when you look at this? The individual who uploaded this thinks it's nothing more than a juvenile Bigfoot climbing. Look at it. I get why he would think that, but we would need more details to come to a definitive conclusion. First of all, how tall or big is that tree? And second of all, where was it recorded? If the tree is that large, then this is most likely a small monkey or something along those lines. If it's one of those ginormous trees, then there's a possibility of this being a Bigfoot, albeit we need to know where this was taken to confirm. You and I know Bigfoot doesn't live everywhere, or, well, does he? Anyway, some members of the paranormal community are skeptical and think this might be doctored footage, and you're part of this community as well, so what do you think? A man was camping alone at a work site where he was overseeing a team of workers. On this particular night, however, he found himself completely alone in his tent. As he settled in, he noticed a shadow outside of the tent peering in at him. Initially, he assumed it was one of his workers returning to the campsite. However, as he looked closer, he realized with growing alarm that what he was seeing was not human at all. In a state of disbelief, he quickly grabbed his camera and zoomed in to capture the mysterious figure. To his surprise, the figure appeared to be humanoid, but its skin had an unusual bluish hue. The entity stood silently, staring at him through the tent fabric, its features indistinct yet undeniably otherworldly. Fear surged through him, and he instinctively began to pray, convinced that this apparition might just be a jinn. It looks almost convincing, but this footage seems like it was edited. The whole thing feels staged, but I could be wrong. A homeowner with a security camera set up outside his secluded house, deep within a wooded area, thought he'd seen it all. But then one night, something unsettling happened. He awoke suddenly in the early hours with an intense feeling of unease. He brushed it off and went back to sleep, chalking it up to nerves. The next morning, still curious, he decided to review the footage. What he saw left him chilled. In the middle of the night, while he was fast asleep, a strange white apparition appeared from the shadows of the woods on the left side of the screen. The figure was faint but unmistakable, a glowing, ghostly form moving toward a large tree. It seemed to glitch, its form flickering and warping, then it vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. He's never experienced something like this before, so he's no clue what this could be. Perhaps a spirit, a glitch in reality, or something else entirely. What do you think it could be? China is at it again. They've introduced a public restroom that can scan your urine for diseases for just $3. It's almost unbelievable, right? Imagine walking into a bathroom, doing your business, and getting a health diagnosis all in one go. It's both convenient and mind-blowing. Just when we thought we'd seen it all, China stepped up with yet another futuristic idea. This level of accessibility to health monitoring could change the game for early detection of diseases and make healthcare more proactive and affordable. What do you think? Could this be the future of public health for everyone? And while you wrap your head around that, tell me what you think about this capture. It was taken on the 21st of December 2024 in Oregon by a DoorDasher. Wait, is that what they're called, or did I just make that up? Yeah. Anyway, after attending to routine deliveries, the individual spotted flashes of light in the sky in an unusual way. Intrigued, he recorded and uploaded it online for people to share their opinions. Many thought he was being silly and that it was probably just lightning. While that sounds logical, lightning during December in Oregon sounds like the kind of thing that you knew was theoretically possible but just not practical. Many who belong to the paranormal community, however, felt that this had to be something there, something paranormal. Even some made a bold claim that the light was probably coming from inside an alien spaceship. They added that it could be malfunctioning, which is why we're seeing what we are seeing. Typically, they're supposed to be cloaked, so to have only a part of it show is a sign of malfunction. I know some of you may be thinking that we're reaching with this one, but please just think about it again. Two residents in Florida recently shared videos that are stirring up questions. Captured on December 30th, 2024, the footage shows thousands of birds filling the sky, all flying out of Florida. What's unusual is that these are buzzards. Buzzards are known to fly into Florida during this time of year, not the other way around, so what could possibly be causing this reversal? This particular event has left many wondering if it could be some kind of sign from Mother Nature. These days, we've seen an increasing number of strange occurrences that seem to defy the natural order. Wild weather patterns, unusual animal behaviors, and now this. Could it be a message? A warning even from the planet itself? Buzzards are often associated with change or foreboding in folklore, and their sudden exodus from Florida has sparked a wave of speculation online. Some suggest it could be tied to environmental shifts like changes in temperature or pressure that confuse the bird's instincts. Others see it as nature's way of signaling that something is amiss. What do you think? A lot of strange encounters have led us to question whether we're truly alone on this planet. Sure, some evidence seems a bit far-fetched, but some pieces of footage are just too compelling to ignore. Take this footage for instance. It was captured by a trail camera in the woods, and it shows a humanoid figure crouched down behind a tree. It almost appears as if it's hiding, staying low to the ground. Then out of nowhere, this person, if we can even call it that, launches itself from the ground straight up onto the high tree branch with incredible ease. Now, keep in mind that the distance between the ground and the branch is considerable, much more than a human could easily manage. Yet this figure made it look effortless. This doesn't seem like a person. The movement, the strength, the precision, it's almost impossible for a human to pull that off without equipment or some sort of assistance. So what are we really seeing here? A woman recently shared a video on social media, excitedly unwrapping a stack of presents. As she opened a compact round mirror and angled it toward the camera, a chilling sight appeared. In the reflection, viewers could see the pale face of a young man, almost as if someone was standing just behind the camera, watching her. Later, when she rewatched the footage, she was horrified. She knew she had been completely alone while filming, and even posted a follow-up video showing her setup. The camera was facing her empty backyard. So what or who was that eerie face in the mirror? And just like that, we travel back in time to the 21st of December 2024, where a man captured something extraordinary on US soil. The man in question was simply going about his daily activities as always when he heard a crackling sound in the sky. He looked up and saw this great streak. It was almost as if something or a higher power had divided the sky in half. As expected, he was startled and decided to record the clip and upload it online. Many who saw this were equally surprised, but not us, because we've seen this before. It happened once in Mexico last year, and the people experienced the exact same thing. There's a loud sound, they look up, and see a streak in the sky. Comparing both clips, we're tempted to believe there's something very fast moving in the sky and leaving the trail we are seeing, but what? Many in the paranormal community suspect it might be an alien craft, but Aaron, our conspiracy expert, has got a different opinion. He thinks the Air Force might be running secret tests with its supersonic aircraft. If you've been following this channel closely, then you know last year we shared stories confirming that the superpowers, aka the US, Russia, and even China, were developing supersonic crafts capable of going around the world in a few hours. Aaron believes these crafts are being tested secretly by our governments in the atmosphere. According to him, although they largely go unnoticed, sometimes they make so much noise and leave trails like this one in the clip. I know this one is reaching, but when you think about it, it's not impossible, is it? Just in case you're wondering what's going on here, that baby crib isn't for sale. No, this isn't an ad for a new crib. Instead, if you pay attention, you'll see a dark mass or shadow moving behind the crib. That's what got this clip on our paranormal platforms. But you have to ask, what exactly is that dark mass? The mother who uploaded the clip insists she's always noticed spirits around her children, but this is the first time she's somehow captured it on camera. If I were her, I wouldn't know how to feel about this, but members of the paranormal community point out that a dark mass like this could indicate the presence of an evil spirit around the children. It's not the kind of news anyone will love to hear, but what do you guys also think? Is there really a cause for worry here, or are we reading more into this than it deserves? Let's hear your thoughts. Late one night, a security guard was in a monitor room, idly scanning through the feeds of various cameras around the facility grounds. It was supposed to be a quiet shift, but then something caught his eye. On one of the cameras, outside in the dead of night, he noticed an eerie sight, something he'd never seen before. There, just outside the facility's perimeter, a smoky, humanoid figure seemed to be moving erratically, almost as if it were running in a circle. The shape was shrouded in a thick, ghostly mist, its form shifting and blurring, but clearly taking on the silhouette of a person. The figure's movement was unnerving. It had an unnatural fluidity, almost gliding as it circled the same spot. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the figure darted directly toward a wall and vanished into thin air. Instead of investigating, he grabbed his phone and recorded the strange activity straight from the monitor. No one has been able to tell what that was. The guard still wonders what he saw and is grateful he didn't venture outside that night. After all, Who knows what might have been waiting for him in the darkness? This next footage comes from a security guard working through the night shift at a booth in Mexico. His unsettling experience was captured by the security camera facing the booth, and what it shows is pretty eerie. It was late at night, and the camera captured the booth sitting on the roadside, with darkness stretching out on the left. Out of nowhere, a white figure appeared in the darkness, standing still, facing the booth. Moments later, almost like clockwork, the guard came out to check what was there. He stood looking at the exact spot the figure had appeared, and then quickly went back inside the booth. According to the guard, he'd spotted the figure on the monitors and came out to investigate, but when he got outside, there was nothing there. Here's where it gets stranger. If you look closely at the footage, you'll notice that the figure splits in two and floats away just before the guard arrives. It's as if the figure vanished into thin air right in front of him. It seems whatever it was did not want him to see it. This image was taken at the Bohemian Grove, and it was captured in the early 1900s. In the image, we see a man sitting down with what looks like a demon or something along those lines by his side. If you look harder, you'll see other faces, including skulls as well, that are translucent. The uploader insists that this image is legit, but some are skeptical, thinking it might be edited. If you're familiar with the Bohemian Grove, it's easy to believe this is legit. If you aren't, it will sound like it's unbelievable. For those unfamiliar, the Bohemian Grove is a secluded 2,700-acre private campground in Monterey, California, owned by the exclusive Bohemian Club, a secretive and elite all-male organization. Every July, they host a 2-week retreat attended by some of the most powerful men in the world, including business leaders, politicians, and cultural influencers. The gatherings are shrouded in secrecy and are known for theatrical performances, informal discussions, and rituals like the cremation of care, which is a symbolic ceremony conducted in front of a giant owl statue. While members describe the retreat as a space for relaxation and networking away from public scrutiny, conspiracy theories suggest it involves occult rituals or secret policy making, further fueling its mysterious reputation. In fact, people who have snuck into it state they have seen things they can't speak about. A few who made it out with pamphlets from the gathering state they have uploaded some parts of it which feature a demonic being sweeping something. It's a lot, but what do you guys think about this? Have you heard the strange rumors? Do you care to share? What do we have here? At first glance, it's just a hand peeling back the husk of a corn cob. Nothing special, right? But wait till you see what's revealed at the end. Instead of the plain yellow or white kernels we're all familiar with, this corn is something else entirely. The cob shines with vibrant rainbow-like colors like blues, purples, and reds, even translucent beads that look like polished gems. It's so dazzling it doesn't even look real. This beautiful variety is known as glass gem corn, and it's not no invention or a product of editing. It's an actual heirloom corn with roots in Native American farming. Brought back to life by a farmer who preserved and nurtured the seeds for generations, each cob is unique with a color pattern. And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us, and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have.
Share this with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.